Today's session, we are going to learn about garbage collection in data structures. Uh, and we are going through the session right now. Okay, first we will have an introduction to garbage collection. Before you know what is garbage collection, you have to know what is a storage pool. A storage pool is actually it is a mechanism where you're going to keep your unused nodes separately and you're going to keep your used nodes separately. Suppose you're having a memory which is used by a program, means it is used nodes. If you are having some other memory which is free and it can be used in a program which you are currently executing, means it is a free node. The free nodes will be there in one particular area called as the available space list. In the available space list, each and every time it will request for a memory node, and each time uh, it will it will send the node to the required program. Okay, this is actually what is the intro that is needed for garbage collection. When all the requests for a storage are of fixed size, it is enough just to link all the unmarked nodes. The first phase is actually what if a garbage collection is marking phase. The first phase, what has to be done means you have to suppose the request coming from the program is of a fixed size, means you have to get it from the available space list, the free nodes, and then it has to be allocated. Suppose if it is the fixed size, means you know the memory. Then the next one means suppose if it is of the varying size, means then the memory will be keeping changing. So if it is change, the memory is been changing, the memory request has been changing, means then you have to compact memory. Otherwise you cannot store you cannot allocate a limited amount of memory to the program, because the memory keeps on changing. So you are having a routine, that is a software routine for operating on a data structure for a varying memory size. And this process will continue. And suppose if it is this garbage collection is not happening properly, means what happens means the unused space will get accumulated, it will keep on accumulating, and you will not be having enough memory for the program which you are executing to, and the space won't be there. That is, the swap will get exhausted, and obviously you will not be having enough space to do any program. That's the thing is called as enough memory will not be there and the program won't execute. Okay, coming back to the definition, the main definition of garbage collection. Garbage collection is the process of collecting all unused nodes and returning them to the available space list. I told what is storage pool. Now I am telling what is garbage collection. Garbage collection, you'll be taking all the unused nodes together, and you're going to return all the unused nodes back to the available space list where you are having all the unused nodes. And this process of sending the unused nodes back to the available space list is called as garbage collection. In garbage collection, there are two phases. One is the marking phase, the other one is the memory compaction phase. In the marking phase, it will mark all the nodes, it will mark all the nodes as unused. Initially it will mark all the nodes as unused, that is 0. Okay, so and then it will initialize and it will check whether it is in use, or it is in currently in use, or currently it is free, it will check. Okay, the second phase is actually it will check, and then it will return the unused nodes back to the available space list. There are two phases in marking. And then suppose if it is the request is of a variable size, then there is the need for compacting memory. You will keep all the used nodes separately, and you are going to keep all your uh, free nodes separately. This is actually called as contiguous. Contiguous means all free spaces will be together, all used spaces will be together, so that if the memory is varying, then you can accommodate in the contiguous memory location which is for free. The second phase is actually called as memory compaction. There are three phases mainly in garbage collection. Normally in C++ and major advanced programming language, what happens is this garbage collection is automatic. It happens automatically. That is, the object is being created automatic. Object it will be taken from the memory automatically. Once the program is over, then it will be returned back to the memory when it is not in use. This is actually automatic garbage collection. Okay, there are three phases in garbage collection here. The first one is marking phase. Okay, what happens in marking phase means it will list the objects which are created. It will those objects which are in use, it will mark. And then the second phase is relocating phase. Relocating phase, what happens means all the references, all the parts of the memory which is being in use will be linked together. And then the compacting phase, all the objects which are not currently in use will be linked together. That's all will be linked together on and will be moved to one place, and the other which are in use will be moved in a separate place. All the links of used nodes will be separate, all the links of the unused nodes will be separate. So this will form one contiguous memory location, and that will form a contiguous memory location. Marking phase. Before marking phase, it will be like this, and this is a diagram. After marking has been at the live actually is actually first everything will be marked as 0. That is the first one, and then it will check. Okay, those who have not been currently in use is actually orange in color, which is been currently in use in blue in color. And then after marking you will have the differentiation, and then you will take the appropriate steps thereafter. Okay, marking algorithms you will be having. For marking the algorithms, you need a separate node structure. In the separate node structure, you will be having two fields. One is the mark bit, the other one is the tag bit. Each will be having only one bit. You'll be having two mechanisms are there. One node you're going to divide into two. One is mark bit, the other one is tag bit. The mark bit will be having what you will be having the information here. And the tag bit, if the tag bit is 1, what happens is it will be having two nodes. One is called as a downlink and right link. Suppose if tag bit is 1, then it is a list node. Suppose this tag bit is 0, it is an atomic node. Okay, then marking phase, this is what I have told here. Then here what happens here is the marking algorithm marks the directly accessible. You'll be having something called as the directly accessible nodes, and you'll be having something called as the indirectly accessible nodes. Directly accessible nodes will be always referred through pointer variables, or you'll be having two types of links will be there. One will be pointing to 0, that is a null link. Suppose if it is pointing to link, it is a valid link. Suppose it is an indirectly accessible node, means what happens means it is accessible through the link fields. So mainly you'll be having one bit field called mark, and the other bit is actually for the tag. If tag is equal to 0, then it is an atomic information. If tag is equal to 1, then it is a list node. You'll be not having any information, whereas you'll be having the link to the other node. Okay, then mark algorithm, both the marking algorithm will be having mark 1 and mark 2 here. Initially in marking process, what happens means you will mark all the nodes as 0. Okay, you'll be having all nodes will be marked as 0, and then it will proceed. The boundary condition is if tag is equal to 0, then there is no other way to go. If tag is equal to 1, there is a path there. If tag is equal to 0, then there is no path here. So you'll be having a driver algorithm to mark all the nodes in the memory. Okay, this is the driver procedure. In the driver procedure, what happens means you are having a for loop which executes from I is equal to 1 to n. So what happens means you will be marking the nodes, that is I mark node will be, you're going to mark it by 0. Once you're going to mark every node by 0, then what happens means every node will be marked, and then you'll be having a boundary condition. What boundary condition is there means you have to keep on marking everything to 0 until you find mark is equal to 1 and tag is equal to 0, means there is no more nodes there, and you will be having a for loop here. A loop is there to check whether it is in use or it is free. Okay, then what happens here is mark of x is equal to 1. Suppose if you find a node which is in use, you're going to change 0 to 1, and if it is in use, then you're going to change the tag is equal to 1, and then you're going for further processing. This is for the driver algorithm is for further processing. Actually, the next one is actually called as memory compaction. Memory compaction, as I told earlier, is actually the second phase of garbage collection. The free nodes will be linked together to obtain the available space list, while the total amount of memory available, for example, you'll be having in between, you'll be having one free node, and then the next memory location you'll be having use node, again free node, again use nodes, like that you're not having it is the free nodes are in between. So you are having n1, n2, n3, n8 are all, or you're going to request the memory here, and the memory which is available are fragmented. Further, with more and more use of these nodes, the size of the free nodes will get smaller and smaller, so that you're going to keep all your use nodes and the free nodes together. Okay, these are the three steps. One is you have to determine the new address for the nodes which is in use. Okay, you have to find out the new addresses, so that you're going for you can go for relocation later. First you have to find out the free addresses, and then you have to update all the links which are free, so that it has to be linked with each other. And then once everything is done, then you have to reallocate the nodes to the new addresses which you have found out. These are actually the three steps for storage compaction. Okay, hope you understood what is storage compaction. Thank you.